Freddie Washington, Freddie, bassist. I came into this business to do is to play bass, and then everything else came after that. So I'm Freddie Washington, the bassist. Oh, my number one favorite is when I was 19. I got to work with Herbie Hancock. So that was huge for me because every bass player in the world wanted to work with Herbie. But he chose me, and that was a big confidence builder. I always wanted to record records, so I always knew what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go on the road and do all this stuff or just play in clubs. I wanted to make records. But Herbie's introduction was big. That really solidified me. When I went to work with Patrice Rushen, which I did 7 albums with her and wrote Forget Me Nots and Haven't You Heard and all that stuff. That was really huge because she's like a sister to me, and the music we created together and things we've done over the years has been a big part of what I do and how I do it. And me working with her and Steely Dan, and that was a big one because they said when people know I work with Steely Dan, even people that aren't musicians, they said, wow, you work with Steely Dan? You must be really good. So I was like, and I chuckle at that. So, things like that. Simon and Garfunkel, when I did the Old Friends tour with them in 2004, they were just getting back together, and I was glad to really be a part of that. When I'm in the studio making records, that's making records. You're creating something that's never been done. Okay, when you're in there, there's a new song, and you're gonna play on it that has never been recorded. Nobody's ever heard it. So in that instance, you're doing something unknown. But when you get on tour, I kind of treat it the same way because whatever that feeling that everybody hears in that song and what you did and what other players did with you, you want to kind of recreate that and then take it to another level. So I don't like when I play in the studio, I play like this, and when I'm playing live, I play like this. This is how I play, period. In the studio, okay, with headphones, we use headphones to record, and then you have to ask the engineer, bring this up. Can you bring this down? Can you bring this up? And sometimes you'll get it. You'll get it where it feels good because we go off of what we hear. That's the inspiration of how we're hearing it come back. Now, the new technology has changed as far as the studio where you can control you have your own bass, you have a guitar over here, you can split them left and right. You have the drummer, he has his thing, and you can balance it yourself to get it perfect how you want it. And the same thing live as well. They can give you a feed and you can use that technology live where you can just do your own mix right there. However you want it. That has changed in the studio because before in the 70s and 80s, you couldn't do that. And now you're in control of what you hear and how you want to hear it. It's like when you can control it, when they give you the feed and you can control it yourself and mix, get your own mix because you really know what you want to hear. So, you don't have to say, well, can you split the guitar? Tell the engineer, can you split the guitar right and this guitar left? You can do that all yourself and get as little or as more as you want. So it really affects the way we hear and how we play and how we respond in the moment. A good buddy of mine, Ray Parker Jr., he has it in his studio. And we went over there to do some recording because he wanted to test the studio out, and the system was all hooked up and stuff, and I got to mess with it and dial it in the way I want it, which is cool. I didn't have to ask anybody for anything. You can take the engineer out of the equation because you're doing it yourself. Later on in the year, around September, I'm going to be doing some touring with Boz Scaggs. So we're gonna do like a month and a half or so. Boz is my good buddy, and he's always calling me up to see am I available to work with him, and I love working with him. So any chance I get to be on stage and play his music, I'm there. So I'm going to be doing that, and then there's a few other things that's coming up, but that's one of the ones that's on the books, and you can go on his website and see the dates and whatever that is. Yeah. For upcoming musicians, and if you want to record, a musician is like learn your craft, really learn the technique of your craft, learn all different styles of music. I'm a real big time advocate for that. Go back. Don't just learn what's here today. Go back and get the old stuff. Go back to the 40s, go back to the 50s, and then bring that forward to the new situation, and then go from there. Always study. It's like a doctor. Things are always changing. It's like medicine is always changing, and the music is going to always change. So keep studying. And new engineers, I mean, there's always new technology. There was tape. Now there's tape still, but there's more Pro Tools now. So they have two different worlds to deal with. Sometimes they'll record on tape and put it in Pro Tools and then do it from there and then mix in Pro Tools. So they have to keep studying and knowing the technology as well. So, and use your ears. Your ears are, that's what they're there for. It's like, what it's supposed to sound like. Studio, us as studio musicians, we're liable to get called for anything. We'll get called for movies. We get called for pop record, R&B records, funk records, jingles, whatever. Always be ready for anything because you never know what you're going to get called for. Always have your reading ability on point because they're going to have music there and you're going to have to play what's written. And when you play what's written, you're going to have to like live that part like you wrote it yourself. So that's the creative part of it. And always have your instruments in good shape and good working conditions because you never know when you're going to get called. And the same thing that goes for when you're playing live. You want your instruments always ready, your setup always good. You know your sound. You want to be on time. You want to never have to have anybody waiting on you. You want to be like one of the first ones there. I'm a stickler for like being at the studio early. I'm prepared. I'm like, that's why they call me Ready Freddie. So, it's like I'm ready for anything that is getting ready to happen. So those are the two, things as far as studio, as far as live. They're kind of like one and the same. Yeah. Know your craft, be there on time and give them the goods.